evening, chocolatiers. Welcome back to OCTOBERFEST 2025. So Hulu yesterday just dropped their remake of The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, starring Maika Monroe as Polly Murphy and Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Caitlin Morales. Now, I do want to be honest with you, I have not seen the original in forever. I was a child last time I remember that, and I watched it with somebody else who definitely 100% remembered it. So they were letting me know what's not right, what's this and that, whatever. It seems like this movie, jarred a lot, right? And so, like I said, I don't remember the twists and stuff like that, so if anything, I'm going to be judging this remake today on its own, which is probably what you wanted anyways. And so, yeah, no nostalgia bias here. So, Mary Elizabeth Winstead plays Caitlin Morales, who's just had a new baby. She and her husband are doing pretty well. They had a big house, nice life, and 2 kids. But she needs help around the house. Enter Polly Murphy, played by Maika Monroe, who just kind of appears. You see her pop up a few times, and she's super persistent about helping her out. Now, from the start, you know something feels off, and the movie flashes back actually at the beginning and shows you that Polly was in this house fire that killed her mother, father, and her baby sister. So right away, you know that there's some trauma behind her. You don't know if she started a fire, if somebody else did, or what happened. And it's not really some random villain story. There is a reason why she's, the way she is and why she is there. And so anyways, Caitlin hires her and the tension starts creeping real fast, pretty much instantly. And what follows is basically gaslighting the film. So going into the performances, Maika Monroe, I just want to say she's a standout. She is so good in this. This is like, my horror queen. If you watch a lot of horror movies, then you know who this is. From It Follows, The Guest, Longlegs. She kills it every time she's in a movie like that. And so to give her a chance to really kind of play that villain, she is straight up nailing it here. And Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who is also excellent, brings that grounded emotional energy that makes the whole situation believable. I didn't even know she was in the movie, which was a nice surprise. So watching her slowly unravel while everyone around her gaslights her is pretty frustrating, but in a good way. And so you're kind of right there with her. You're like, why don't you believe her? And so the chemistry between the two is really great. There's a lot of tension, the tense, manipulative arguments, and it's very uncomfortable in a lot of ways. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. And so I feel like the movie really works best when it leans into that psychological tension. Polly is doing things that make Caitlin look insane. She's slipping stuff into food, swapping baby formula, setting up weird situations like fireworks going off, or the baby ending up in an ER because of the poisoned food. And just like that, you're like, fire this woman. Do it. And it's kind of infuriating to watch because it doesn't happen because nobody believes her. But that's kind of the point. You feel the frustration of nobody believing Caitlin. Like if my wife was telling me the nanny was doing weird stuff like this, I feel like I'd believe her. But everybody treats her like she's losing her mind. And I feel like the early things that happen were crazy enough to the point where I'd be like, I'm on my wife's side. Now the movie does make you question your own sympathy too, because when the twist hits, and I'm not going to spoil it, it changes how you see Polly. You start to understand her a little, even if she is doing horrible stuff. And I feel like that is good writing. It's giving you 2 sides of the same coin, showing you, how people ended up where they did. And I do want to be more real with you guys. Movie's got a lot of problems. For one, it does feel like a Lifetime movie at times. And I would say it's not necessarily bad. It's just kind of safe. There's not really a ton of style or atmosphere to set it apart visually. And the pacing is also very weird. The movie feels longer than it really needs to be. And some of the subplots, like the husband, low-key checking out Polly, or the couple's sex life tension, kind of go nowhere. And they do build up things, but nothing really happens. They don't really go anywhere. And I feel like the twist in the movie is solid, but not really mind-blowing. It makes the story better, but I didn't really walk away thinking, wow, that changed everything, or it's super crazy. I feel like it was just a little interesting. And while I like the gaslighting angle, some of it kind of gets repetitive after a while. It's like, okay, clearly she's not crazy. Come on now. Let's move on. Overall, I really did like the film. I think that it's not amazing and it's not awful. It's just kind of just fine. I feel like if you're streaming on Hulu, it's a perfectly decent watch. I wouldn't go out of my way for it, but it is a solid little domestic thriller to throw on during the spooky season. And I feel like the performances are great, especially for Maika Monroe, but the story really doesn't quite hit that next level tension that's building up. It's a 6 out of 10 for me. It's got fine acting, decent writing, but too tame and really doesn't leave a mark. So I will be checking out the original soon to compare, because everyone I watched is what said the 92 version wipes the floor with it, which I 100% believe after watching this. But still, for what it is, it's not bad. It's another solid watch for Oktoberfest. And with that, that is my take on The Hand That Rocks the Cradle 2025. So with that, let me know down in the comments below if you have seen it or if you're sticking with the original and going to skip. And if you were enjoying Oktoberfest 2025, hit that like, subscribe, and ring that bell, because we're keeping the spooky season energy all month long. And we're getting there. We're getting there. Tomorrow, we're covering Coraline.
Doesn't like herself.